My name is Erica Vesely, and I'm from Albuquerque. I've been doing real estate 2 years.
All right. To you, what's the difference between exchanging and more standard forms of real estate?
Well, more standard forms of real estate involve very simple money for home or land, and exchanging involves more creative thought using perhaps a piece of land as a down payment, and there's benefit on both sides. Probably just a little more creative and expansive on opportunities rather than just an exchange of money for a product.
So, other than creativity, what are some of the benefits?
I think that sometimes, let's say if someone doesn't have money but they have land, they can still do some sort of an exchange where they end up with something that they wanted but they didn't have the money to buy it. So
Okay.
they used their property to buy it. I think that's hugely beneficial because they didn't have to go through the process of selling it, so they'd have the money so that they could buy what they wanted. It cuts
And-
out some of the steps. I think it was really great for me because I was a realtor 1 year and I started thinking like an exchanger at that point, and it changed everything because then we don't have to think about banks, we don't think about, none of those things matter. What we think about is what does someone have, what does someone need, and how can we bring those things together. And sometimes we even involve another party and come up with this magical equation and everybody benefits. And I haven't done any yet, but sitting in a room full of people who can be creative like this is so much more beneficial than just thinking, can a mortgage lender get you a home? So I think that it's really important to think about the bartering system that we left behind. And that's really what it is. It's just sort of, I don't have money, but I have something that you want. Because really we're talking about value and benefit. Well, I think they just think of 1031 exchanges, where when you have your surplus, you have to invest it in something. And I feel like that is something that's done in here, but it's so much more. So I'm bringing women in because there aren't a lot of women. And so I'm trying to get a younger woman presence.
Obviously, you're going to do whatever makes you money, but is this something that you're going to try and bring into your...
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, being so young, I don't have a great client base yet, and I don't have a lot of inventory. But, I have a client right now who's a business owner and has a piece of land out in the East Mountains, and his, kids take up all his time, so his dream of having that place is gone. But he doesn't need the money, and he doesn't need the land. So now I can trade it into something that will actually make money for him, and he's really excited about it. And I just think being able to go to somebody and say, well, look, do you want money, or do you want something that's going to make you money, or do you want another piece of land? What do you want? And it makes them feel like, wow, you're really taking care of me. You're exploring so many different ways to do this, and a lot of them don't even involve money.
And so that's what they refer to as counseling.
Mm-hmm.
So when you learned about exchanging a year into your career, a year ago that's when you learned about counseling as opposed to just representing someone.
Mm-hmm.
And do you feel like you've developed stronger connections with your clients?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they know that I'm not just a regular realtor who's just gonna do the basics for them. I'm somebody who's gonna think of all sorts of options and situations that they probably haven't even thought of and didn't realize was possible. I think this could be beneficial to me as well, because if I'm gonna get involved in something and there is no money exchanging, I might take a piece of the action as pay, and I'm a little fascinated by that also.
Other than the knowledge, do you feel any camaraderie here? Do you feel...
Oh, I don't miss a meeting. I don't miss a meeting. These are my guys and gals, a couple. And they're so open if I have questions and giving me ideas and showing me how it is that they did what they did. And oh gosh, yes.
And how does their openness differ from more standard real estate brokers?
I just think that they understand that, the fact that I'm even here is important, and they want to make sure that I get everything I can out of it. And, when you go back into the population of realtors, it's just so vanilla. They're not helping each other. They don't have any ideas. They're just buying and selling.
Yep.
Buying and selling.